Hey Capricorn, this is Perrymore Tarot's daily reading for June 5th, 2024. This is for Capricorn. Last shuffle coming out for Capricorn. Let's see what's going on. So Capricorn, what we have is milestone and we have ascendant masters. This tells me that you are reaching a space where it's like you may have always known that you were going to be. It may have been something that you felt like was a prophecy over your life. You're finally reaching this point. You know what I mean? Sometimes the ascended masters is like some sort of prophecy on the wings of this, and what is eternal for you? You know, will always be this or that. Is there some vibe of that going on? I know how that sounds, but they're showing with the milestone death in the tower. Now, something disastrous has finally been thwarted or ended, or something that could have come like shook up your life. It's like the dust is finally settling. Yep, the dust is finally settling. You figured out a way to survive or make it. You may have found your mojo. You know, like the like if your life went through a drastic change, and this could be in the way of like a promotion. It could have been like a real life sudden change, like a big one where the old life is really something. You know, like that kind of change that you go through where you look back and go, remember in 2000 and so when we used to be able to do this or we used to do that. Like big changes, like either like empty nesting energy or like, you know, your children have gone from a certain phase to another phase. You know, like they were in middle school, now they're in high school, and it's a whole different ball game. Or it's something like that. Like maybe they were babies and they're now in pre-K or something, and you're just like, whoa, this is a huge shift. Or this also could be a shakeup, whichever way, right? They're kind of showing a shakeup. Like some of you could have graduated from college, and now your life is completely different than it was then. There's a milestone of like you were always going to make it to this point. Now you may have gotten to a point where like the dust is settled and you're settled into your new routine, settled into this routine, that you've gotten used to this shakeup, you've gotten used to this change. Ascendant Masters, Nine of Wands, and Seven of Wands tells me that you still have a fighting spirit. You still may be in this space of the relentlessness that you were in. You know, when we go through that change, you're relentless. Like, I'm going to make sure I finish school, and then you get out of school. Then it's like, I'm going to make sure I get this promising career, and I'm moving up a ladder. You're still fighting, right? They're saying that you know, the day is not over. Every single day counts. Like you should, every day we should never lose that hunger of, you know, to conquer or to be able to stand firmly on whatever it was that we were doing. Like we should always have some kind of a conviction of our purpose, you know, kind of vibe. And so that's something that you may believe your spirit is pushing in this direction. Also, too, this would be like that is the energy, the spiritual energy you're attracting through people, or people that are just tenacious, stop at nothing, maybe very stubborn about things. Sometimes this could be a person who's like, for some of you, it would be on that level, and then on the other, the flip of the coin, they may be like very victimy. Like I would be able to do certain things had it not been for this. I would have been able to get XYZ had it not been for that. They're still trying to be recognized. They're still trying to be seen or something here. And so that would be the other half, the other half of that, right? So honoring path with Six of Cups and the Eight of Cups talks a lot about how your intention is always to be better than you were before. Remember those things, like looking back at past Capricorn. What were you? Were the things that you regret? Like you look back, you go, "Oh man, if only I would have did it this way." I really don't like that specific aspect of history. Am I, you know, when it comes to what I've done or who I am, there's an intention to make right those things that you look back at and say, ooh, I would never do that again, right? So the intention, the honoring path is saying that you finally reached this place where you're like, nah, I'm settled in this new change. This change was a great thing for me. I'm actually grateful that spirit broke in and stopped something or changed something in my life, because now I'm able to say I've never, like that, you know, it's not so hard to look back on yesterday, because I keep hearing that song by Boys to Men. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And it's almost like you're like, nah, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I'm good with yesterday. Um, Knight of Cups and the Ten of Cups here would tell me that the Sacred Temple is about you speaking from the heart, or being coming from the heart about what really makes you happy, because that is what you could have. This is about learning how to manifest. Like if you are settled into a new change, say this is a sudden thing, it could be anything, surgery, it could be like I said, a transition, whatever kind of transition that's like a huge shift and like tectonic plate shift in our lives, right? Which could be any of these things, um, anything, right? Whatever that is for you. They're saying that you're meant to disconnect from that and to focus on what it is you want, not to be like, oh gosh, I still have that hunger within me. It's like you can still be in that space of being very ambitious, like you were when you had to hurry up and make something happen. However, what is it that you truly wanted? What was the purpose of all that you've done? What is the purpose of all that you've learned and gone through? To be settled in this, what is the purpose now? Right? Not to get stuck in that settled energy, like, oh well, I'm finally used to this new schedule. But now, why was it that you wanted this schedule to change to begin with? A lot of us forget that. We go to work and we're like, we're working so hard to pay our bills, we're working so hard to provide certain things for our children or our spouse or even ourselves, right? We have goals, or our families, like our extended families and such, that we forget the purpose of why we were doing certain things. Like we're like, okay, when I have this amount, I'm going to have free time to focus on this book or this thing. And then we forget that, right? We get so caught up in the existing part of the day. So they're asking you to really look at that, right? To look at what you really want. Don't start getting stuck in the get rich and die or die trying diatribe here. There's something worth fighting for. You may find that all around you, everyone is still fighting for that purpose, but it's important to disconnect yourself from the struggle of that purpose or the journey that you've gone through to get to this purpose. It's no longer going to benefit you to be in that space. It's now time to be impeccable with your word based on what you've experienced, understanding that you can have what you want. Like now you've got what you want. Now what? Kind of vibe. You got the free time. Now what? Can't scratching and surviving, good times, right? So you could be. I mean, some of you could be, but that at the same time, it's completely different than whatever you've finally gotten used to something. According to this, I feel like I'm speaking to one Capricorn. This is very specific, but you could be dealing with a Scorpio very strongly. We also have Taurus here. We also have Cancer, a Pisces, another Capricorn, or a Virgo. If you're not dealing with those signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.